I am leaving non-duality. And that's kind of a funny thing to say. And it's not because I think it's bad, but I want to share my experience with it. So I've gone down so many different paths of spirituality, from spirituality to mysticism to alchemy to consciousness to light working to, you just name it. I've probably been down that path. And basically all of these things are spiritual concepts that we put out as a carrot. And non-duality has been a big part of like the last 5 years for me. But what I have just woken up to is how much work I have done. And I really like that I've done this. So I've gone inside and tried to like extract any kind of resistance within me. And what the result has been is I'm looking around going, I'm not too excited to be alive. Like there just isn't this excitement. And my relationships have faltered because, if I wasn't being met, then it was like, okay, well, that's not a relationship I should go with. And then I realized like, oh my gosh. And I was also trying to be the bigger guy. And so like, I just had a relationship end, and I allowed regret to come in, to anger to come in. And it felt great. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And this clarity came to me, and this new, what this regret is doing, it feels like it's creating this new framework for me to live within. And I'm focusing on friendship now. That's my new carrot. And friendship like trumps every relationship there is. And I'm seeing friendship as like the highest goal of friendship is like, that's where you get the meaty ones. Those are the ones where the people like you serve the friendship, and then people want to reciprocate. And the thing about being a good friend is that you have to be a good friend to everybody. But you have to learn boundaries, because there's going to be people that are just there to take. And, and you just have to know what you're willing to serve, to give to it. And so I think non-duality is a great point of reference. But what I have found is that without contrast, like there's not an excitement. There's also not the grittiness of love. And that's what I'm finding is that I'm starting to heal some of the relationships that I've had simply by showing up by being angry and not allowing just pure projection to be thrown at me. And I'm calling people out and I can do that because I can drop down to that level. Then I have the ability to come back and be centered. And I'm finding that it's working. Like my relationships are starting, like the people are responding to that. Whereas before I always felt like I needed to be, better than other people at communicating. I needed to be the more spiritual person. I needed to be the more loving person. I needed to be the more caring person. And now I'm just realizing I need this grittiness. I need the grittiness of love instead of just me chasing the creative aspect of what I can see in the world, but rather stepping into the ugliness of the world, the projection of, which I'm referring to as now bullshit. Like, people just throwing their projection at you. And it's like, okay, you go ahead and do that. There's going to be some boundaries set. And that's the art of being a good friend, is you have to be good. If you don't you don't make somebody the object of, I want to be friends with them. And they need to reciprocate. It's like, no, you focus, and that's what I'm focusing on, is friendship. And to me, friendship is showing up with people where they are. And that's how you serve. You serve everybody to the level that friendship can be had. And I also realized that I chased lovers, and I wanted a lover to be all of the things that a friendship now that I'm seeing. So like, as far as now I'm broken up, am I single? Am I looking for a lover? Absolutely not. And that's the biggest relief of my life. I am not looking for a lover. I am looking for friendship. And if it ends up turning into, if we can build, because with a friendship, you can build a framework. And that's the thing, when you go after a lover, you're trying to wrestle with the framework. But from a friendship level, the friend is like you're looking out for each other. When you're in a love relationship, that's how we think it should be, but that isn't what happens when we have clinky, bent, diluted, or not diluted, but distorted psychology. So friendship takes care of the distorted psychology, and then you let it go. But the big key is that you see everybody as a friend, as a potential friend. And I'm doing everything that I can to not build walls. It is me to find boundaries, because boundaries have thresholds. People can go through that as long as they follow your boundary. And you're good at setting your boundary. And that's the art of friendship, is learning the grit. Like, because when you have a true friend, they'll tell you when you're not congruent, when what you're saying and your actions aren't in alignment. That's how we can all help each other. And we can allow, and that's what I've given up, or that I gave up for a long time, just trying to be as damn spiritual as I possibly can, to now being like, I just want to be real, baby. I just want to be me. So it's not that there's anything wrong with non-dual teaching. I just think that any path that we take, it's like at some point we have to get rid of the carrot of the concept, because that's what I realize is a lot of the dysfunction and distortion in my life was because I was focused on a concept rather than the life experience itself. So anyway, I hope that's helpful.